All right, let's talk about weight gain as a result of your genetics. So, a lot of patients who come from families where more or less everybody in the family is overweight or obese come to me often with this fatalistic attitude that, you know, it's my genetic tendency, everybody in my family is overweight, it's going to be this way for me too. And the truth is that there absolutely are some genetic factors, some that we've identified, some that we've yet to identify, but I'm certain in the future we will, that predispose you to obesity. But it really is a little bit more of a complex problem than that. Because again, let's go back to our caveman times and look at things from that perspective. When people grew up in a food-starved environment where threats of starvation and famine were very real. And the truth is that a tendency toward weight gain was strategic. It was an opportunity to be able to survive through those long winters. So what we see now is that some of those genes that protected our caveman ancestors are working very strongly against us and promoting weight gain. But what that really says is that it's not the genetics itself. It's the genetics plus the environment. And this really gets back to this concept we talked about in the last talk about epigenetics. And what epigenetics is it's really the study of not necessarily your genes per se, but how genes are turned on or off. So you may have genetics that predispose you to weight gain. However, those genes can be turned on and off based on what's in your environment. And looking at our heavily processed food environment, our sedentary lifestyles, and recognizing that it's not your genetics, but it's your genetics plus this environment, plus eating junk and sitting on your butt all day, those two together are what cause obesity. And one thing I've learned over the last decade or so of treating patients who are suffering from obesity is that obesity is not a fair and equitable disease. And because of that, some people are going to have to work much harder to maintain their weight or lose weight than others. There are some people out there who can eat whatever they want, can drink soda pop, basically eat their entire diet from McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, and not gain a significant amount of weight. And then there's other people who practically, just by walking by a bakery, will gain weight. So where you are on that spectrum is something that has come to you through no fault of your own. But just like some people are more prone to heart disease or other disease, some people are more prone to obesity, and that means that you have to be extra diligent compared to others in your efforts to maintain your body weight and to lose weight. So what can you do if your genetics are predisposing you toward gaining weight? I think the first thing is to give yourself a break. You didn't get to choose your genetics, and it's not fair. Other people may look at you and judge you as being a glutton and being sedentary and lazy, and that's the result of your weight gain. But the truth is, that's not necessarily what this is. You probably eat and move very similar to a lot of other people who are a lot thinner than you. So first, give yourself a break. The second is look to your family and see if there's someone in your family who has been successful with their weight loss efforts, and try to figure out how they did it and what they did. And see if there's anything that you can glean from their experience toward your own. Because just like there's genetics to gaining weight, there's also genetics to losing weight. Some people lose weight more weight than others with bariatric surgery. Some people lose more weight than others with a low-fat diet or a low-carb diet. There's a lot of variation in the weight loss results from person to person. I think also you're going to have to work harder than everyone else. It's the truth, and recognizing that and understanding that is really important. That's a very important first step. Another thing I talk to patients who come from a family where their genes are really strongly working against them, is that this is someone who I think should strongly consider weight loss surgery. And we're going to talk a lot about weight loss surgery in coming videos. But if this is your destiny, and you're unable to move your diet past a certain point, and even when you do really diet, really eat well, the weight just doesn't come off, then weight loss surgery may be the best opportunity for you, especially if there's other people in your family who've had the surgery and done very well. And I think the last and parting words on this topic is that it's really critical that we intervene early in patients whose genetics are predisposing them to weight gain. And you know, in your 20s or 30s, that's the time to really step up your diet, to read the writing on the wall and recognize, hey, my genes don't work well with this environment. And if I eat like everyone else and I move like everyone else, I'm going to get much bigger than everyone else. And if you recognize that and can intervene early, oftentimes you can kind of stem this weight loss and keep it at its weight gain and keep it at a reasonable level. You know, you can't turn back the hands of time, but perhaps you can help with your child or your niece or your nephew who may be on the same path as you.